understand I'm was between you and some awesome salsa, some good around, so I'm trying to wrap it up as quickly as possible. It's 1992. I'm 14 years old. Parents are at home at our apartment packing for a trip that we're going to take the next day to New Mexico to see some family. My brother and my friend, actually my friend Dominic, who's also named Dominic, were down the street playing basketball. Huebner Oaks Apartments over by Huebner and Babcock. Gotten dark already, it's time to head back. We decided to head the road up. Head up the road to Sierra Vista Apartments, was just a little ways up Whitby. My brother and I are kind of joking around and laughing, and we see a van start coming down our way. I mean, this van's, it's hauling ass. So, swerving kind of back and forth, and I look at my brother and I said, I think that's a drunk driver. I think we should move over a little bit. But sure enough, that van was going a lot faster than we were prepared for, and at the last second, boom, made a beeline right at us. So, I'm standing on the outside, and as a good brother, I'd like to think I'm a pretty good brother. First thing I think of is shove him out of the way into my friend Dominic. And normally you would jump with them, right? That's kind of like the most sensible thing. It's like you're going to shove this way, you would jump. No, I got to be different. I decided to turn and try and like do some sort of spin move and jump out of the way of the van. This is like the dumbest thing in the world. Well, the van won. So as I turn, the bumper of the van catches the bottom of my leg right down here, and 2 inches of my shin bone and myself go like a helicopter all the way up into the air. And I mean, pretty hard up in the air. So, bam, hit the ground. And I mean, at that speed of getting hit and that bit untwisting, I hit the ground rolling. I mean, it felt like forever. Like I can remember, it felt like a long time. Your head's just kind of back. So, I finally come to a stop, try and stand up. The ground, for some reason, is caving in because I'm trying to actually stand on this leg. It's not working out too well, plus my head's spinning all over, so I fall right down. I find that the van that actually hit me stopped, like literally like 10, 15 feet from me where I landed. And a person gets out. So, you know, I got hit head syndrome, right? Put it in the ground. And I can't tell who it is, but it's a lady. And she comes up and she looks down at me and she just starts screaming. I'm talking like horror movie screaming. I'm 14 years old, so I'm kind of freaking out. If somebody's yelling at you like that, screaming, you know something's wrong. So, unfortunately, she jumps back in her van and she takes off nowhere to be seen. Kind of sucks, right? But it's cool, don't worry. So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, I gotta take assessment of what's going on. My head's finally starting to stop spinning. I got a little bit of a light from the apartment behind me. So I sit down, I'm already sitting down, obviously. So I reach down, there's just wetness everywhere. I'm trying to get a better look. I sit down and pick up my leg. That's when you know something's wrong. When you can pick up your leg and your other leg doesn't lift, we got a problem. So I immediately realized that it's only held by the skin. So I'm literally holding my leg like this. It's got a happy ending, all right? Don't worry. You can swim. Still crazy stuff happens. All right, so by that time, my brother and my friend Dominic, they ran down to me. We're 14, 15 years old. God allow us a moment to all freak out at once. Ah, your leg's off, what happened? Ah. Okay. So I tell my friend, I'm like, yo, you gotta run up to the apartments. Go get my mom. She's my mom, right here in front. RN nurse, work trauma, talk about, I knew she'd know what to do. My brother's like, I'm gonna try and flag down somebody. Now it's kind of dark, so I got no issue with the fact that a few cars kind of passed by. It was like at least a couple that passed by. But the first one to stop, really cool motorcycle biker dude. Very important role. Bikers wear bandanas. Bandanas are very important when you have blood escaping out of your leg very fast. So he was a really huge key part. That's like lucky one right there. The next car to stop was a doctor and a nurse. I mean, again, we live by the medical center. Lucky too. What's going on? Miracles are working here, people. So they stop. My parents get down to me. Everybody starts going into action. They get the bandana off the biker. They tie off my leg. Somewhere along the mix or another, somebody actually called 911. I'm pretty sure of it. I was kind of dealing with a little bit of stuff at the time, but I'm sure somebody called 911. Hey, you live in the medical center, right? 2 minutes away is the hospital, 2 minutes away are ambulances. So that's like lucky 3 right there. Ambulance is dispatched. They get there, they immediately go, okay, we gotta get him to the hospital. So they bring this really cool boot. It's like a zip boot. They just kind of like piece my leg in there. I remember they were like just trying to slide it all together. Like it's some sort of Lego set. So they put it in there, and they zip it all the way up, and we're off to the hospital. Now, side note, anybody ever ridden in an ambulance? I hope not. But if you have, the oxygen in the ambulance is amazing. It's like crack air. Like I was just sucking that stuff down. It was amazing. So, we get to the hospital. Dr. K. Badass Bone Fixer Wilkins, one of the foremost orthopedic surgeons in South Texas, just finished his shift. On his way out the door, hears over the intercom thing, back in the hospital area, that hey, there's a kid coming in, hit and run, severed leg. Puts his jacket back on, rolls right back in. How lucky am I? I mean, this guy's like as pro as it gets to fix some bones. He comes in, he assesses the situation, he looks at it, he sees, man, he smashed the crap out of both the tibia and fibula, broke ankle in 12 different places, and his next question is, zip it up, get it over the thing. So you're not left with a lot of things. You can't really operate when you're missing a whole 2 inches of shin bone. So, but he was pretty hell-bent. Dr. Wilson was very hell-bent. And what I didn't know, or my parents didn't know, that lucky number 6 is coming here. One of his friends is a medical sales rep and had just visited with him that day, showing him a device that you screw into some bones to regrow bones. How cool is that? Like just earlier that day. So he calls him up because he's like, oh, he's here. His daughter's not feeling well. His 8-year-old daughter's not feeling well. And they happen to be at the hospital. Let me see if he has it. Calls him up. He's like, yeah, it's in the trunk of my car in the parking lot. Lucky 6, I'm telling you. I'm straight batting 1,000 here. I'm going to Vegas. So he goes out and runs and gets it. Now, if y'all have kids, and I have older kids now, you're freaking out. I mean, my son's older than when this happened now, right? He sits him down and he says, okay, look, here's where we stand. We can cut the skin, cap the leg. It's going to be the easiest thing to do. Or, I have an experimental surgery I can try. And it comes with its own little, mix of possible blood clots, everything. Now, I was a baseball player up until that point. I'd say all my life, but I was 14. And I had plans to play ball for high school. Go Marshall Rams, from high school. And so, they made the right choice. I was so happy because if I was awake at all, I'd have been like, yo, let's do this. Prep for surgery, boom, right in. Hours and hours of surgery. Sure enough, blood clot. Not so bueno. But 14 and full of piss and vinegar, I fought that sucker back. I was like, no, you're not taking my life. Not happening. Not that I had a trust I was knocked out. But that's how I felt subconsciously. So we beat the blood clot, and I'm still alive and kicking. Now, this is where I finally get to enter back into the scene. I finally wake up. Much later, I finally wake up. And I realize, okay, where am I? Hospital room. Some little memories start to come back. But immediately I realize I can't feel anything in my right leg. I can't feel anything in my left leg. I didn't know at the time that I'd blown out 2 of my discs in my lower back because of the hit and the twisty thingy, right? So I was freaking out. You can imagine, you're like, crap, my legs wrapped like a Michelin man over here and I can't feel anything here. So Doc comes in. It's the first time I get to meet him. And he starts walking me through. He's like, this is what happened. This is what we did. And it all starts to flood back. And I start freaking out just a little bit. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, come on. You're 14 years old. You got your leg cut off and went through something traumatic. And he goes, I look at him and I say, I'm never going to walk again, am I? Like, that's pretty serious about it. That's a lot to, take on as a young kid. But I'll never forget, he looked at me and he said, you know what? That's completely up to you, Dominic. I don't even know if I can save your leg yet. But I'll tell you what, whatever we do is going to require a ton of hard work. And it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of pain. But if you give 110%, I'll give 110%. And if you don't walk again, we'll at least know more for the next person who gets hit. And we'll be able to provide that information. I was sold. All right, let's kind of wrap this up. So, I was sold. I said, I'm in. 2 years later, 9 surgeries. The sheer willpower and perseverance that it took to push through that really prepared me for anything that would come my way in my life. Really. I feel like even since then, I feel like I can really handle anything and process it. The characteristics of my personality, I'm very positive, I'm very driven, I'm very passionate about everything. Family came first after that. I wanted to pay it forward and help people in, every opportunity that has come about since that time. And I'll tell you what, 24 years later, I got 2 legs, a beautiful wife, 2 of the most awesome kids in the world right here in the front row. My friends, my family, my fellow rackers that I work with at Rackspace. I have my business, a fun little salsa business, right? These are all a testament to what you can accomplish when you never say never. Thank you for hearing my story.